Another beautiful fall week in Toronto is coming to an end. So this week, I wanted to talk about something I struggle with, motivation. While I've shared a lot of my accomplishments on this channel, from like the MCAT to running a marathon, it is not all what it seems. My ADHD has a severe impact on my ability to motivate myself. There are many days where I find it difficult to get out of bed. So what gives? Why do I and so many other people with ADHD struggle with motivation? And how can we get around it? So just starting with the science a bit, ADHD is not just an inability to focus well. It affects a lot of the brain, mostly executive functioning, but that includes motivation. According to a study done by Modesto Lowe et al. In 2013, studies on behavior indicate that motivational issues are like a distinct part of ADHD. Is there something about the ADHD brain that makes us different? Yes, there is. Studies investigating ADHD brain circuitry have found that individuals with ADHD exhibit hyporesponsivity of the dopamine neurons in the ventral and dorsal striata in response to rewarding stimuli. Okay, those were a lot of big words, so what do they mean? Well, basically, the brains of those with ADHD have neurons that don't work properly in the regions of the brain responsible for motivation. So these neurons basically do not respond enough when we are presented with a reward of some sort. Now, that kind of begs the question, what qualifies as an award? So an award is the brain's way of making people motivated to do virtually any task. So that includes anything from, say, getting a good grade on a paper to doing simple trivial tasks around the house on a day-to-day basis. For example, say if we put a dish away, our brain says, good job, you did that. And it releases some feel-good stuff. But with people with ADHD, they will often struggle to feel that. And because of that, it makes it difficult to do a lot of things, including getting out of bed, making a phone call, or putting away dishes. So while ADHD can seem like an endless uphill battle, there are techniques that you can do to help yourself in running up that hill. Stranger Things reference, but I'm a bit too late, a few months too late. But here are a few things that I find help me. So number one, medication. Obviously, this is what works best, and there are some theories as to why it works. Medications are thought to open up receptors longer in the brain to allow for more neurotransmitters to bind and carry on the signal between neurons. And honestly, speaking from personal experience, I find that my medication really helps me do those small tasks. That said, it can still be a challenge for me to stay motivated in terms of long-term goals. So these next two tips are really helpful in terms of staying motivated for long-term goals. So number two is keep an organized and motivational space. Today I had a hard time motivating myself. My bed felt like a vortex and I could not get up. I thought back to times when I was able to motivate myself, and I remembered that I used to put up motivational quotes in my workspace. So I started there. I put some quotes here on sticky notes all over as to remind myself why I must stay motivated. Keeping my space organized also does wonders for motivation. It feels less overwhelming if my things are in order in a way that makes sense to me. For example, I like to label my things and leave stuff out I don't want to forget about. Now, number three is come up with goals. What do you want to accomplish and when? Currently, I have set goals into three categories of big, medium, and small goals for the whole year and multiple years. The goals are categorized in terms of priority. Big is my main objective for the year, while small is meant to be worked into routine like exercise. Now, it's important to note that if you are keeping up with your big goal, you are succeeding. The medium and small goals are important as well, but it's fine if you slip up a little on them. Just don't forget to pay attention to them. I find that this is really motivating as it keeps things into perspective over multiple years and allows me to maintain focus on what really matters. It also tells me that just because I struggled to get out of bed today, that does not mean I won't complete my goals. And it does not mean I won't be able to get out of bed the next day. Now, of course, ADHD motivation is very difficult. So I want to know what works to motivate you. Is there something that I missed? Leave a comment below and be sure to like and subscribe as it helps me greatly. See you next time.